turn Hassan up, and then we are good to go. I think. Hello, welcome to Kramer and Jess Uncensored. I think it's the 123rd episode of this show. 1, 2, 3. Makes it good luck, right? I think so. Thank you for being here. Some of y'all listen to 123 episodes of that, and that's ridiculous. You need a better hobby than listening to this junk. In case you've never been here before, we should give you a fair warning because people hop in all the time. So, Jess, what are we giving you just a little heads up on?
It's basically like the close friends feature on your Instagram account where there's only a select few that you actually show your entire life to. And that's basically how we treat the Uncensored podcast. So just keep that in mind.
In case you don't know this guy to my right, this is Hassan, and he is behind the scenes of the show and the star of the Stan Willie radio show from circa, what year was that? That's when Hassan used to host a country radio show. It makes me laugh. Everything about that makes me laugh.
I was a co-host. I wasn't the head.
Oh, okay.
Wait, did you talk the same on there?
Like,
yeah. I just didn't use my government first name because, Arabic Muslim first name doesn't sit well with American white country music. So
Hassan.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Could you imagine?
Not after 9/11. We're not putting no Hassan on our damn country radio station, man. It's true. I tell you.
And it was a red state, so
yeah. Even
I just use my middle name.
Country radio is tough, man. Like even when I was hosting country show for 2 years, like my co-host was Filipino, and it wasn't like blatantly, it wasn't even the fact that she was Filipino, it's that she was a woman was the first problem, and the second part was that she was Filipino, and it wasn't ever blatantly like fuck you for not being white, but there would just be things.
No, you can feel a tone, you can feel an energy. People don't even have to say a racist comment and you can tell they're being racist.
Yeah, they're like, well, here in America, and she's like, what? Like, I'm literally
America.
Oh, that reminds me, y'all, I actually saw something racist go down. I totally forgot about this because like sometimes I wonder, like, haven't we done enough for equality with different races? Racism's gone, right? We've erased it. We've eradicated racism.
That's close. Cute that you think that.
Off the planet.
Not even.
Because in my bubble, everybody's liberal. Everybody's not racist. At least publicly to my face, nobody's been like, you know what I hate? People of different colors. So I'm at Dunkin' Donuts on Saturday, and there's a guy behind the counter who I think he's Hispanic, and there's this woman, she probably looks to be 60. She's in a nurse's outfit, which is funny because usually nurses are pretty empathetic humans, right? By nature. And she's trying to explain her donut order to him. But even I'm kind of confused what she's asking for. And like, I think she's just, I don't know that she was 100% mentally.
She's just frantic.
She's all over the place, right? So he's like, oh yeah, like twice he had to like go back and like change the order for her, like try to get the right donut for her. She grabs the donut out of his hand and goes, if you're gonna work here, you need to learn how to speak English.
Oh my God.
This man was literally like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, ma'am. No. Like, I'm sorry, my English isn't good. Like, it wasn't like he had like, I couldn't even detect an accent on that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, is that? That's 2023.
So you guys heard of that show? What is it, like MILF Manor?
Yeah.
How it was like trending or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the whole thing, but Garage and I watch Cody Co, and he does reviews on YouTube of like shows like that. So we get all the good stuff like in 2 seconds without watching the trash show. Yeah. And one of the moms literally got pissed at 2 of the other moms who were speaking Spanish because she was like, it is so disrespectful for the 2 of you to be speaking Spanish in front of us because we don't speak Spanish. And so you need to speak English when you're in front of us. By the way, the show was being shot in Mexico. Just saying. Just saying they were literally in Mexico shooting the fucking reality TV.
That's
but
bad.
She was like, you guys are so disrespectful to us. When you're in front of us, you need to speak in English so we can all understand what you're saying.
Damn.
Not you visiting them and not understanding their native tongue. That's hilarious.
That's bad.
But like, and then the two other moms were literally apologizing. They're like, it's my first language. Like, it's like something that we automatically do. If someone else speaks Spanish, like, we're sorry. Like, we're not trying. Again, like, I'm bowing down.
Right. To you, white woman, because
it was just
you.
So
and I hate that
ridiculous.
other races feel like they almost can't defend themselves in some situations, that even feels like shit. So obviously this guy at Dunkin' Donuts was like, he was like obviously being sarcastic in a nice way, but almost being like way too nice to her, right? Is like a level of sarcasm. But like, I was so stunned. I didn't even know what to do. I was like, God, it's like the white guy here. Am I supposed to like stand up and like save the situation and tell this woman she's terrible? Because it all happened so fast where I'm like, racism in real life. I've never seen this before. I don't even know how to react in that moment. Like, because you see it on TikTok and it seems like it's so flawless, right? Like you see somebody like, excuse me, you can't be doing that. You can't be saying that. But like, for me, I was just like, but then I felt like shit. Cause I'm like, should I have said, don't be racist, woman? Like,
no, you didn't have to. No, because it's not. You could if you
want to.
Yes, but it's not necessary to you. As long as you was like, hey, I saw that. I'm sorry. I see you. Not everyone thinks like that. If you would have said that strictly to the guy,
and that's what I said to
fine.
I was like, dude, that was terrible.
That's more than enough because we know that everyone is not a racist. It's just the fact that it slips up sometimes, and then also it's indicative to the person. You don't need to make the situation worse than it already is. Like we don't need.
So if I'm like, wait a minute, you apologize to this man right now.
I disagree with that a little bit because my thing is when those situations happen and she just gets to say that shit and walks away and without her being stopped. That's how I feel in those situations where it's like, what I'm saying to you, is that going to completely change your mind? And am I going to make you not racist anymore? No. Right. But the reason like she gets to say those things because imagine all of those moments that add up together, and which is why she feels comfortable enough to act like that and speak like that in public, because nobody is going to be like, even the simple like, excuse you, that was rude. Excuse you, that was unnecessary. That's disgusting. Yeah. Like I've made comments like that where it's like people don't even need to look back at me, but like you need to know that was disgusting.
Right. Yeah. I'm saying if it's comfortable for you to do that, do that. I don't think it's comfortable for Kramer to do that. So I wouldn't. That's fine if he doesn't do that. Yeah. It just depends on what your comfortability is with confrontation.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how we got here. How do we get to this whole thing? Racist. We're gonna somehow transition to kid jokes, but I have no idea how we went from like racism.
Because Hassan being on the country station.
Oh, the country station. Stan Willie. Okay, so let's get back over here. Hassan he does a lot of stuff behind the scenes, like edits a bunch of segments and gets things ready. One of his responsibilities is to do kid jokes, and so in case you don't know what kid jokes is, you want to explain what the bit is, Jess, for those who don't listen to the radio show?
Kids call in. We have like a joke hotline for them, and they call and tell a joke. And it's awesome because it's like, could you imagine being little and like getting to call your favorite radio station and tell a joke? And we play it on the air. We try to guess that. We try to guess the answer, and it's super cute.
So it was like super, like it's cute and it's funny. And this week it got like too real. So let me play this one call, and I have to imagine like she just got nervous in the situation. Or
I think it's genuine because it sounds so honest.
I don't think she was like punking us.
No, she didn't punk us.
But again, this is the unedited version of a call we took this morning. So,
I'm Bella. I'm 13 and I'm in Baltimore, Maryland. So my joke is knock knock. Who's there? Oh shit.
I just love it. It's so bad, but I love
it because like because even too like it's a knock knock joke. It's very hard to like screw.
But I think she.
But I feel like she was trying to say like trying to remember, so she said in her like knock knock. Who's there? Say the joke. I was like, oh, I forgot to say the joke.
That. And then you could hear her trying to like.
Oh wait. Yeah. Do we think because she said? She gave us the
who's there
part, which is obviously not her part.
No, it stumped her up because she's trying to give in the timing too.
Yeah.
And I'm in Baltimore, Maryland. So my joke is knock knock. Who's there? Oh shit.
She legit forgot the joke.
And I think too, it's so much because she's like, okay, I have to say my name, and then I have to say how old I am, and then I have to say where I'm from, and then I have to say my joke. Like it's kind of overwhelming.
And that's so when you call the voicemail, that's what we say. We give like kids like basically very specific instructions. Say this, then say this, then say this. So she's probably like, okay, name, okay, knock knock, it's oh shit, and hangs the phone up because it was just too much. But Hassan asked a good question off the air. What was that question, Hassan?
I was like, when did you or your parents hear you cuss for the first time?
I don't even know what time. Like, and obviously, what's up, YouTube? By the way, good morning. How are you? Melissa's here. Erica's here. We're right on time today. We try to be. We're actually never on time. Queen Pam is here. Hello.
Hello.
Q Diggity Gaming is here. Isabel is is here, and so is Gabriella. Like, when do kids even start to cuss? I mean, she was obviously 13 and felt really comfortable dropping shit. Like it was nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at middle school, are you kidding me? Come on.
I think
Just saying.
So middle school, we all think that's probably right. But so when do most kids start cussing? And like, parents, if you're on here, can you help us out too? If like your kids have already said a cuss word, what was it, and how they use it in context? Because I'm curious about this. Jess, do you remember like when you first started cussing, the first time you at least got in trouble for it or used it?
The first time was I was 4, I'd say. But as far as like publicly,
Wait, how do you know 4?
To my friends, because I flipped my dad off and said "fuck you" to my dad, and I did it because I saw it in the movie Liar Liar.
You said "fuck you" to your
in
dad.
1997. So I was 4.
You literally said "fuck you" to your father.
I'm pretty sure I said "fuck you."
Wow.
I know I flipped him off, but obviously I was saying "fuck you."
That seems really young.
And I did it on purpose for a specific reason. Because I forget what he was saying to me, and he's like, "You need to clean your room," and how he was speaking to me.
And you said "fuck you" to him?
I'm pretty sure.
Jessica, think about that at 4 now. In hindsight,
and listen, I can see it. It was we were in like our smallest apartment at the time. He was at the end of the hallway. He didn't have a shirt on. He was getting ready, and I leaned. I peeked out of my bedroom, and I went like this. And I looked him in the eye.
She's giving middle finger for those who are not watching the video.
Giving him 2 middle fingers, looking him in the eye, and waited so that he saw me. And then I went back in my room.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's terrible, right? In hindsight now, as an adult, like.
But I said it with purpose.
Yeah. And you meant it.
I meant it.
Fuck you for trying to tell me to clean my room, Dad. Fuck you.
Literally.
I just know for sure it wasn't just about the room. Like, I remember there was outside situations outside. I think he was like, "And you need to go clean your room." And I was like, "Fuck you!" Like,
at 4?
Yeah, like,
dude, that is crazy.
That's so funny.
Okay, so Isabel said my son is 5 and said his first cuss word at 4. I almost passed out.
Because it's so funny, and that's which is bad because you laugh.
What?
Right?
What did he say? What was the cuss word? Like, what was it that he actually said? Hassan, do you remember the first time that you cussed, or at least got in trouble for it?
I didn't get in trouble for it.
Yeah,
but it was in my first sentence ever in life. I was about 2.5, 3.
We're already cussing at 2.5 or 3.
I'm a product of my environment. Okay, don't judge me.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Right?
Yeah, if you're hearing that word all the time.
I'm a product of my environment. All right, don't judge me. So basically, I was talking to my father about this because when I was there, I was like, "Yeah, when was the first time you heard me cuss?" He was like, "You was about 2.5, 3. We was on a road trip to North Carolina." And my brother and the cousin was just playing in the car. They were just like messing with me. I'm in my car seat. I really can't move. And I said, "Stop messing with me. I'm going to kick your ass."
Yeah.
And did you get in trouble or no?
No, my father just laughed.
That's the worst part is like when you first hear it in the little baby voice. And I forget how old my sister was, but she was tiny. She was probably like around maybe like 2 or 3.
Right.
And I remember all of us just looking at each other and laughing our ass off. Because
how can you not?
Funny.
You know? Gabriella on our YouTube show says, my daughter has never said bad words, but my son walked around saying bitch from like 2 to 3 years old.
That's my favorite cuss word.
Like what?
Because of the reaction they get from you, and it's like once they see the smile, it's over.
I'm pretty sure I said shit, and I remember this. The only reason I remember it is because I remember my mom being like, "What did you say?" And I was like, I was probably, I don't know, 6 or 7, and I said shit, and I remember trying to save it, and she's like, "What did you just say?" And I said chick.
Trying
chick.
to lie.
And she's like, "You didn't say chick." And I'm like, I said chick. And she said, that didn't make any sense. I thought I got in trouble for something or something bad happened.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Did you say you said shit?" And I'm like, "No, I said," and imagine like, my little Southern accent. "I said chick."
Yeah.
And so she literally washed my mouth out with soap. I remember that. Like that
happened to me too.
Traumatic. But that's like the first recollection I have.
That never happened to you?
No.
Why you laugh?
Never.
Why do you laugh?
I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I never got my mouth washed out with soap."
Traumatic memories. I like see it in the sink at my grandma's house, leaning over, my mom's hand all up in my mouth and putting soap in there. It hurt because she has long nails and she had a ring on.
Yeah.
Fucking hurt.
Putting that thing right in your mouth, man. Like was it bar soap or was it liquid?
Bar soap.
Yeah. Never once.
The only time I got disciplined for cussing was what I said earlier when you first introduced myself. I got in trouble for cussing in an assignment and I got suspended for it.
Yeah.
So that's the only time I ever
Wait, what did you say? What did you say?
I said I was gonna fuck this lady up.
That story. Yeah. But your parents never disciplined you for cussing ever?
Just that. That's the only time. Other than that, no. Because again, I'm a product of my environment. You can't discipline someone if you do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Amber on our YouTube show said, my mom caught my brother teaching me how to spell cuss words when we were like 8.
That's awesome.
We got beat.
Yes.
That's so awesome.
Isn't it great too that kids live in a time now where getting beat is not like a real option anymore? At least publicly. You know what I mean? Like, dude, because like some of my parent friends, I'm like, why don't you just go spank your kid? They're like, spank my kid? I would never. And I'm like, dude, did everyone else get spanked? Because I got my ass beat back in the day.
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah.
Just not for cussing.
I'm in
only a couple of times.
Immense therapy now.
But,
you know, maybe that's why. Amber said, I thought soap in the mouth was a white people thing.
Thank you.
Is that a white people thing? Well, obviously not.
No,
obviously not.
My mom did it to me.
But like when Kramer said it, I was like, okay, yeah, it's a white people thing. But then you agreed to it. I was like, oh, never mind.
Well, maybe it's just not a black person thing. It could be just a.
No, we just get switched.
What? Yeah, I was gonna say. So, what was your go-to punishment then? Like, did you get? I'm sure you get reprimanded for something.
Oh no, we got discipline. So we either got beat with the Tupperware spoon on the hand.
We got that too.
We got switches. We got belts.
I got belt.
And then once we hit puberty, we fought. So we got punched.
You got punched?
Yeah.
Where'd you get punched?
My chest.
Damn. Lord have mercy.
My dad got punched too.
Okay, think about
I think that might be a guy thing though.
Think about this for a second. Jess, you know, you're planning on having kids. Do you think
will they get spanked?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Jess. Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you for that.
I'm
glad.
They will.
I'm glad you stick but you know there's a level to it. But I'm glad you did that.
There's a level to it.
Wow.
Right. I'm not going to beat my children. I'm not going to physically abuse them, but I will hit them.
Wow.
When necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to be it's going to be it's going to happen so it can change their lives for the better. So they remember certain situations.
I'm sure
there's going to be like one. Don't make me start 2.
Count the
not me.
Count.
Yeah.
Not me.
Like
because in the store, like it's not. And
you'll hit your kid in public.
Yeah,
you will. You're thinking.
No, I won't because my mom didn't. What my mom did to me. So obviously, got the soap in the mouth. I got hit with the belt, and then what my mom did to me was when she would hit me privately. She would say, "Do we need to go to the bathroom?" And like still that phase is traumatic for me because I'd be like, I don't have to go to the bathroom. I don't have to go to the bathroom because if she said that to me, that meant that she would take me to the bathroom and hit me in there, or she would pinch me. She'd like pinch me under the table, and that would be like signal number 1, or pull my ear, signal number 2, like and hit in the bathroom.
And you'll still do that to your kid. I feel like we've just evolved since then. I feel, and again, I'm not a parent. I don't know
certain situations. I think like you at least to me personally, I think you need to get spanked at least once in your life.
Wow, Jessica Dutra, everybody.
Yeah,
I 100% agree with
parents. Hop in here. Let's have a serious conversation.
It's not going to be every time.
And don't make yourself look good. Don't make yourself look good. Just be honest.
I think you should get spanked at least once in your life, like a good one. Not all. Like I have 2. I've only been like traumatically hit twice in my life, and I remember them.
What'd you do?
And I never stole again. Never.
So you stole something.
I stole something.
Okay.
And I tried to steal Pokemon stickers from the grocery store.
Okay.
And I put them in my pants and my sweats. And when I was walking, it was like, so my mom could tell that I was literally stealing in front of her.
Yeah.
And she made me give them. Well, first, I think, did she catch me outside? Catch me outside. So
literally,
I don't
know.
My
brain goes literally nowhere else.
I forget if she caught me outside of the grocery store, if it was like in the middle, but she made me take them out, give them back to the store person, and tell her what I did. And then she told me, she was like, I probably should turn you in and take you to jail. She was like, I feel like I should take you to jail right now, like you committed a crime. And then my dad hit me with the belt when I got home.
Wow.
That was once. And then the second time I got hit with the belt was my mom was pregnant with my sister. And I was being a fucking heathen this day, and we were getting ready to go somewhere. So I had already gotten all the warnings in the world before this happened to me. And I think just to piss my mom off even more, I decided to paint my nails before we were getting ready to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And my mom was just like, that's it. Like, that's it.
And spanked you.
My dad hit me with the belt. Yeah.
Wow.
And the time that I tried to steal, it was worse because I tried to put paper plates in my pants to guard myself.
Oh, to protect yourself.
I get
it. To protect. Somebody
else had a story like this too one time. I don't think it was you, but I remember somebody else I've worked with told a story before where they tried to intercept somehow.
It might have been me, honestly.
It could have been, but I think it was like a book or something they had used.
No, I used paper plates and put them in my pants, and so when he hit me, obviously it made a completely different sound, and that made it worse. And it was so bad. It was so bad.
I dodged a beating too, but then I just got beat worse. Like I said with the Tupperware spoon. Yeah. So that game, you slap hands, you slide.
Yeah.
So that's what I did every time my mom had to beat me with the Tupperware spoon. So I just had my hands out, and she would try to hit me, and I moved, did the stick and move.
That was the worst thing you could have done. That could have been the worst action you could have done because you knew that was coming. You just had to take it, right?
Yeah.
Now let me tell you this. Let me give you the opposite perspective of this. I could never hit a kid. I couldn't do it. And I'll tell you why. Now, do I think it would work? Probably. But I've been doing so much therapy recently on my childhood years. And I realized that most of my trauma comes from an instability with my dad. And the fact that like a lot of fear was based in the fact that he spanked me one time, hit me one time. And then forever I had this unsafe feeling around my dad that I still to this day carry because of like childhood, because I never knew as a kid, was he going to be in a position to hit me again?
Yeah. And but what were you doing?
I mean, I don't even remember when he hit. I don't remember.
What did you do?
I don't remember. Okay, let's have a serious conversation about this for real, because I don't know. Gabriella says this is a touchy topic.
Right. It really is.
I know it's a touchy topic.
Which is why we're on the Uncensored podcast, not the radio show. But I'm genuinely curious, like where do you like stand with this?
Yeah.
Gabriella says spanking teaches nothing but fear. And like I agree with that. Like what kind of trust are you building with your kid if your kid is constantly in fear that like you're going to hurt them?
And honestly, this might be an unpopular opinion, and I'm okay with taking negative criticism. Kids need to be scared. Kids need to be scared of certain situations. They need to be scared of breaking the rules. They need to be scared of consequences of their actions.
So I agree with you to a certain extent, because I feel like that was my parents' style of parenting.
Yeah.
And I think what sucks is, and I'm sure that's why it's so hard being a parent, because both of my parents were parenting me the way they were parented, and also just that's the only way they know. So they weren't exactly treating me the way that I probably should have been treated like with my personality and stuff, where like both of my parents were known as badass kids, is what they call themselves. Is like both of them, kind of push the limits in that sense. And like, I feel like there are certain times where like you remember like last podcast where my dad was like, I would raise my voice and like make Jessica pee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which sucks. Like that is shitty, because it's true. And same thing with my mom and my dad. Like there was definitely a lot of fear there. And I feel like there should have been a better balance of like verbal communication versus just like yelling and scaring the shit out of me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think that there still has to be a level of fear with authority when it comes to your parents, because when it's just so like friendly, and I'm just speaking from experience, I'm speaking from what I've seen with my sister, I'm speaking from what I saw with my friends that got the complete opposite of that, and got like didn't give was zero fear, like it didn't give a fuck about what their mom or dad said, or like knew that at the end of the day they would get what they wanted, and like as long as they apologized, and like it was just so like relaxed.
But did your parents treat her the same way they just treated you? Like they spanked her and stuff?
They did, but as she got older, there wasn't as much like firmness with her.
Yeah.
And that is that definitely plays a part. It played a part in their relationship then, and continues to play a part in their relationship now.
Yeah.
So it was like they almost did the opposite with me, because they went so hard on me that they pulled the reins back completely with her, which each of us, my sister and I, needed a better balance of both. And it's like they just went from one extreme to the other, and that has caused a lot of issues in their relationship.
But don't you? Okay, so going back now, Don't you wish you could have taken that away from young Jess, the being hit thing? And now you, as a future parent, have a chance to do it differently, but you still see it as you knowing there's going to be the same outcome.
Yeah.
As like a scared little child, you still think it's okay to like do that to a human being.
I won't use a belt, but I'll definitely spank my kid a couple of times when it needs to be. And it's not going to be like an immediate thing. I think it's going to be
right out the womb.
No, yeah. Like I just
teach you some lessons real quick.
I just do and again, like just once or twice. And like, I never stole again.
What does Garage Boy say about this?
Yeah.
He feels the same way.
Because it's not like we're gonna be like all the fucking time,
right?
Like smacking you in your face, like every single. It's not gonna be every single punishment, but we do feel like at least once or twice in your life you are gonna get spanked. And I don't want to use a belt because that was fucking terrifying.
Tina on our YouTube show says, till this day, my 15-year-old daughter knows act up or try talking to me with attitude and I'll snatch her up. Doesn't matter where we are, I don't play. And so when you say snatch her up, what does that mean? Because I feel people use that term as like kind of like
when my mom said that she would snatch me up, and her version of snatching me up was basically taking me to the bathroom immediately.
Right.
Celia says it's called gentle parenting now, and there's a fine line. Zero punishment. These kids be out here wild as fuck.
And I agree with her 100%. That's why I feel like these kids, they don't have fear for any type of authority. That's why they do all these reckless things. Heck, that's why some of these kids are killing other kids, because they don't have fear of consequences.
Wow.
That's my personal opinion.
Damn. Okay. But Celia, do you spank your kids or do you not? Gabriella says, gentle parenting is very misleading by the media. Oh, here we go. Don't let me mislead anybody now. Don't let me do it. Gentle parenting done right is very effective.
I agree with that.
Celia pops back in, says, we're missing the whole conversation over here. When my dad was little, he had to kneel on rice, and my uncle got slapped so hard it knocked out a tooth.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
And that's not what we do nowadays.
Yeah, no, not that.
Wait, so Celia, come back and tell me if you
I feel like I hope to, and I'm striving for, and my goal is to have a balance of both, because I think both are necessary. And like an equal amount of fear and also respect, to where like your opinion and how you're feeling matters. And I want to be able to talk to you about what's going on.
Right.
But you don't get to say whatever the fuck you want to say to me.
Right.
Amber said Kramer definitely wasn't mowing the lawn when he got beat. Okay. Honest to God, I think the only interaction I had with my dad had something to do with the cutting the grass, and that was it. So
yeah.
Okay, back to Gabriella now. Here we go, baby. She says, I'm in my master's for child therapy. How about that? She said, there's never a good excuse to hit a kid. Fear teaches kids to lie, not consequences. I had no idea we were going to get such a touchy topic today. We don't have time for what we plan to talk about. Celia said, my mother was totally over the line, period, which is why I parent the way that I do. I'm so chill. There is zero hitting, but there are serious consequences.
And I would say that it's also depending on the child. Each child learns differently.
Well, if you had a kid, would you hit your kid?
Yeah. Because if my kid is going to be a product of me, I don't learn specifically through just verbal talking. I need to be shown why this thing is bad, why this thing, and that does in case leads to beating sometimes.
I'm gonna remember that.
No, but what I feel like though,
you messed up one clip.
No, but,
really.
But what I feel like though is you want to at least give your kids some time, or give yourself some time to kind of see if they're gonna be the same way,
right?
Because they may not be, and I feel like that's what I experience sometimes, where I was so emotional and like they just needed to talk to me. Like you didn't need to like scream at me all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Honestly, like the 2 times I got hit, what did more trauma to me and what caused more fear is like the screaming and like the way they spoke to me, like how aggressive that was.
So will you scream at your kids?
I feel like I'm not gonna say.
What's the meanest thing your parents ever said to you? I'm sure you can remember it.
I don't know. I don't know if it's like I wouldn't say, I don't remember like the statement or anything like that, but But then again, too, it's like it's hard for me. I also understand like where they were coming from. They were like extremely young. They were divorced at the time. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Like they never worked through their own thing. So like there's a lot of things that I'm able to see now as an adult, you know? But I feel like the worst time, I can't hear it, but I can see it. And I just remember I was like crying about something and like they were just like screaming. My dad was screaming at me about just being like, so like stop being so fucking sensitive, kind of thing. Like stop fucking crying all the time, like all that kind of shit, right? Which obviously makes you cry even more, you know. So I think it was more of like I just needed more conversations. But there are some times where like I really fucked up, like when I like snuck out and at my friend's house and like a whole bunch of other dumbass shit went down and like the police could have gotten involved. My mom was screaming at me. Yeah, scream at me. Scream at me for that, but like don't scream at me all the fucking time just because you're in a bad mood. That's where the difference needs to be.
I agree. In this conversation with Gabriella's, and Gabriella, by the way, thank you for being so honest in this conversation, because number one, none of us are parents. Number two, none of us know what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying now. I don't have a baby. I don't know what the fuck.
Exactly. I'm gonna end because this is exactly what's going through my head too, Gabriella. Gabriella says, I thought I'd spank my kid until I had them. Now I could never. I think this is one of those things that you need experience firsthand.
Totally.
Having kids changed my mind a lot. So
watch me have my baby and be like,
I would never touch you and lay a hand on you.
Garage boy still wants to spank my baby.
Like, like, don't do it in front of me.
I'll spank you over here. When Spanky gets born, we'll talk about it. Okay, well, there we go. This has had nothing to do with what we were going to talk about today, but that's all right. That's what I like about the Uncensored podcast. We just kind of roll with it, baby. If you want to go berate Jess for her terrible parenting views, but it's actually kind of nice that you're the villain for once. So this is kind of nice. I don't think we've ever done an episode where you're the bad guy.
It's funny because I don't feel like a villain.
Well, of course you don't.
And
everyone else does.
And I'm
that shit villains say. Okay.
You can come at me, but don't have a kid, so why berate me for a child I don't even have?
Exactly.
Where do we find you, Jess?
Just do it. JESSDUITT.
And this is Hassan over here. Where we get you?
You can follow me at StanWillie2 on all social media platforms.
I'm that guy Kramer on Instagram, podcast, and Certified Mama's Boy. We love you guys. Thanks for honestly. Here's the thing. Thanks for being here for the conversation. If it made you feel a certain way, it don't matter. That's what we're here for, man. We're just a family. We can disagree on some things, and we're all trying to learn better from other people. So thank you for being a part of it. And thanks for having an opinion on this. All right. We love you. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, YouTube. You're the best.